Today's weather video, we're going to be talking about severe weather happening over in the plains today, as well as flooding also happening in the plains, and as well as the mid-Atlantic and the Northeast. Right now across the country, we do and will have starting our severe weather outbreak for today. Right now across Colorado and Wyoming, we do have a severe thunderstorm watch in effect with a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings and a tornado warning in effect. We also do have flood watches happening over here in the mid-Atlantic into the Northeast, as well as the Central Plains. Now, especially in areas where we had rainfall, especially over here in the mid-Atlantic, this could be a really bad rainfall that we could be seeing today. For today, we do have a moderate risk of severe weather over here in northern Oklahoma and southern Kansas, with a wider enhanced risk all across the southern half of Kansas, western Missouri, and northern portions of Oklahoma, and even a larger slight risk that's coming from, Iowa, Missouri, a little bit of northwestern Arkansas, even a little bit in the Texas Panhandle, all the way up to the little panhandle of Nebraska. So we do have a widespread area of severe weather. We do even have a march risk over here across the Appalachians into the southeast and mid-Atlantic. So watch out for that, because this will be impacting close to 100 million people. The tornado threat is not going to be the biggest threat. However, we do have a 5% chance of tornadoes within 25 miles of a point over here in Kansas, Oklahoma, and western portions of Missouri. Recently, the SPC did also add a 2% over here in Virginia and Maryland, so also around the DC metro area, beware of severe weather, because 2% chance, I mean, it's not impossible, but it is a little rare, but it still can happen that we could see a tornado or two back over here. We do have a very wide 2% over here across the plains itself, so maybe if you're even just a little bit out of the line, if you're still in that slight risk of severe weather, still watch out for tornadoes. Now, for the hail outlook, we do have a 30% chance of hail within 25 miles of a point, with a little extended hatched risk into Denver over here from the Oklahoma and Kansas border. We do have a wider 15% that will extend all the way up to Iowa, Wyoming, and Nebraska, all the way down to Oklahoma City metro area, even over here into Amarillo, Texas. Our wind risk is going to be the biggest issue out of all of this, as we could see a 45% chance of damaging winds. Wind gust that could be reaching up to 100 miles an hour in some locations, with a hatch risk of 30% around that, which is still a large area. I mean, it covers a lot of the metropolitan areas of Kansas, and even over here into Tulsa and Oklahoma City as well. Even a little bit may touch Kansas City suburbs too. And that wind risk even will go over here across the Appalachian Mountains between the southeast and the mid-Atlantic. So even if you're over here, damaging winds are not going to be impossible, which we need to remember that. For tomorrow, we do already have an enhanced risk of weather across the eastern Midwest here in the Ohio Valley, Michigan, Ohio, most of Indiana, southern Illinois, even to eastern portions of Missouri. We could be seeing enhanced risk of severe weather. The slight risk will come down from Michigan all the way down to Texas, so we are going to have a wide slight risk of severe weather. For day 3, we do already have a slight risk across the Northeast and the Mid-Atlantic here, from the Carolinas all the way up to New England. We could be seeing some severe weather. Now, for excessive rainfall chance, I am on WeatherWise because Pittsburgh Weather never updated, but at the last minute for western Pennsylvania and northern portions of West Virginia and a little bit of eastern Ohio, even over here in Kansas too, we have 2 areas of moderate risk of flash flooding being possible, with a 40% chance of flooding within a 40 or 25 miles of a point. So we do have that big risk of flash flooding happening. And especially over here, areas in, northern West Virginia, where Wheeling and Fairmont recently have been having bad flooding. And we don't need any more rain, and we already do have flash flood warnings in effect for both areas of the country, too. So if you are in those areas of red, even if in yellow, too, beware for potentially flash flooding happening. Now, here is composite reflectivity for tonight for the whole plain. So we can see already One time while making the city, we do have a line of storms moving through Colorado and Wyoming. Also have a little bit starting to form over here in Kansas. As we do move into, very late evening through overnight hours, that line of storms through Kansas is going to be forming, and these are going to be really strong. So with these, we could be having, embedded damaging wind gusts up to 100 miles an hour possible. Large hail, 2+ size hail, and even a couple of rotations here and there for tornadoes that will definitely happen. We do have other cells up here in Nebraska and over here in Oklahoma that could also intensify as well. But this is going to be our big main threat that's happening. And while we go through overnight, those line of storms will continue to move across Kansas and Oklahoma. Then probably by morning to noon, everything will start to move out. And then we don't have to worry about much over here for the plane. So it's not going to be here forever. It will go away very quickly. When I mean by very quickly, I mean like 12 to 16 hours after it started. So your definition of quickly, that's what I consider it. If it lasts in less than 20 hours, maybe it's 16 hours, I would call it relatively quick. Now, for total precipitation that we might see within the next day throughout here, we could see that our big areas are definitely going to be the upper Mississippi Valley, the plains over here, a little bit of Pennsylvania and the Ohio River Valley. We could be seeing some rain with this. Areas up here in Illinois, we could be seeing up to 3 inches of rain, even 4 inches of rain possibly. Even in Kansas, it could, some areas could be seeing up to 5 inches possible in Kansas and Oklahoma. Over here in Pennsylvania, some areas could see up to 3 to 4 inches an hour. Well, not an hour, but like throughout the whole time. But we can see rainfall rates up to, an inch to 2, per hour. Even in 45 minutes too, we could be seeing some of that. And then up here by the Great Lakes, we could be seeing a lot of rain too. So a lot of rain in the forecast for the northeastern section of the United States and the Midwest, and also for the plains. For the 6-day, 10-day precip outlook, most of the country is going to be experiencing more than average precipitation. Besides the East Coast over here, we could be seeing drier than average conditions. For the next 2 weeks of temperature outlooks, it just seems to be like we're going to have the same thing. So we're going to be having the East Coast warmer than average temperatures, while the West Coast is we're going to be experiencing near normal or below average temperatures. And basically, for the whole country for the next 2 weeks, we're either going to be, above precip or near normal precip. Unless you're over here in the Outer Banks, we could be seeing, less than average precipitation this year round. Hey, who knew that the, eastern North Carolina could be experiencing below than average precipitation. Alright, and that's going to be it for today's weather video. So if you guys like to see a new one, make sure you guys like and subscribe with those notifications on. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.